So we didn't know what are the plants we should plant in this. So I used whatever was available, and probably I shouldn't have crowded them like this. These are cabbages and broccoli and Swiss chard. And as you can see, the Swiss chard are taking, they're liking this one. And as I told you, we are still in experimental stages. My friend John Pendergast in London, he says he has grown tomatoes, peppers, and so on. And we are also trying to grow tomatoes and peppers. I'll show you in another vertical garden. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 5. So altogether, we can have 20 containers very easily, which means what we could have produced in 5 containers, we are now able to produce in 20 containers. That is 4 times that of the original, the conventional way to grow things. So I feel that this is very useful or applicable for those who live in the cities. Some of them may not even have exposed ground. Most of them would have been paved away. So you can set this up on a pavement also. And then you can also set it on the apartment porches if they have sufficient space. And most of the time people can give this much of space. It's about 2 feet by maybe 5 feet or 10 square feet without taking the whole porch for this. Now they can grow tomatoes. They can grow tomatoes in the bottom, and they can grow cucumbers, so they can come out or climb up and so on. They can do all kinds of things. Here again, this is one way of doing intensive gardening, and I think the future of food production is going to be the future of, if there is a food crisis, and how do you overcome the food crisis by doing some of these things. And this also is, as you know, the organic food, organic vegetables and others cannot be bought by the poor people. They are very expensive. So as a result, only the upper middle class and rich people can go and buy these expensive organic food. I wouldn't call this to be organic, because the way they certify organic is a complicated procedure. So I will say we have not used too many chemicals. We have not used any chemicals so far, but later on I might feed them with the Miracle Grow, which people say is not a harsh chemical, and they say the chemicals that are in Miracle Grow are the ones that naturally are in ground. And then you also, by this method, not the in-ground method, by this method you can conserve water. John, if you could come and pour some water in these containers, I would appreciate it. I'll show you how the color of the soil changes when you pour water.
Oh, great.
As a result, will stop when you see the water going up to here, and therefore you are not wasting any water. Go ahead.
Top down.
Now why don't you do whatever you see? No, we have not wasted much water. Although this requires frequent watering, at least once in 2 days. And therefore you see the difference between these two. We know that this is not exactly dry, but it is not saturated with water, but this is saturated because of the color. So, and we haven't lost a single drop of water. The reason is, even though the water may accumulate here, the root system is not completely submerged in water, and therefore you don't have to worry about killing the plants. And here is another example of how a tire could be used for planting. this is an eggplant that John is planting. Do you want some more soil, John?
We're pretty good.
Okay.
Water.
Yeah, it's I think pour a little bit of water to take the air pockets out.
And the best part about this is the carrots are temporal. You can pull them up when they're ready to be harvested. And then the squash, or the zucchini for that matter, it's a viney crop, so you just let it vine around and you have all the space, because the tomato will grow high and you can capsule that in the frames, and then the eggplant you just push to the side. So you get everything and you have your space, but in a very, very condensed area.
We can set these things up in any place. You don't need fertile ground to put these things. So anywhere you can see how healthy the tomato plant looks. It's because of the nice nutrition-filled soil we have used. And in less income countries, they can use manure and soil from the river banks, and soil from topsoil is available everywhere. And for peat moss, they can use coconut fibers and a few other things that are available. If somebody goes from here for education or for social service or anything, some people do not have the technique to introduce there. So our organization, Technology for the Poor, wants to train people in simple technologies like this. This does not require education or continue training. I can teach this in half an hour. There's nothing to it.